Welcome to the latest article from Clive. God inspires, so carefully write them down to share them with you. Remember, little is much when God is in it. Labour not for wealth or fame. Our article is entitled Overstayer. Now, inspiration has us looking at a physical event and then drawing from that a spiritual event, a sort of modern parable, a humorous look at where we are in life. Now, most countries have rules and regulations and such where non-citizens are allowed short-term visiting rights, to have no rights in employment or very limited rights. And if one stays too long, then they fall into that category of being an overstayer. One has been here way too long. Now, it is past time for them to go back home. And if caught by the authorities, then they are immediately detained, often in a secure detention centre or for deportation, and then are normally taken to the airport, right up to the boarding gate, and often right into the plane, and then the doors close. Security exits the plane, and thus they are placed in the first available flight out of the country that is heading back to their homeland, and usually the airline has to fly them for free, as the overstayer usually has no cash or assets or funds to pay for the flight. The plane then takes off heading back toward the land of their birth and the land of their passport. Now, overstayers are in essence an alien, not from these parts, and people in this situation are normally trapped in a foreign land with no means to get from here back home over there. God's kids have been here in this land of sin and death, this land of Egypt, for way too long. Like the prodigal, we exist in this filth and grime, but our thoughts and our desires are heavenward, the place where we really belong, back home at my Father's house. We are actually in reality an overstayer in this world, this land of slavery and sin and death, this land of Egypt. And the sinners here do not want us around any longer. If you continually talk about heaven so much, then why don't you just go back there now? We have lingered here in this world of sorrow and sin for way too long. 2 Peter 2, 6-8. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, for that righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. But then again, are we actually vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked and their wicked deeds? Or has sin crept in on us and corrupted us so much that we are no longer vexed by their filthy conversation? Or do we now even practice their filthy conversation? And are our deeds actually holy, or are they corrupted? Are they wicked and defiled, evil and selfish? Then are we going to stay any longer here in sin and degradation, slavery and death, or are we actually an overstayer, not from these parts, heavenly and not earthly, earnestly desiring the first flight back home to our Father's house, to exodus from here directly back there, back home? Quote, we are sojourners here, pilgrims and strangers on the earth, but we are fitting up for a better country, even an heavenly one. We must now learn the language of that country and prepare for the life that runs parallel with the life of God. Our life in this world is but a vapour that vanisheth away. Then shall we devote all our powers to securing the treasures of earth for this little short lifetime? Or shall we apply all our abilities in such a way that we may gain the future immortal life. Christ says, "Ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's." Everyone that shall see the King in his beauty must be without spot or wrinkle or any such thing. We now have an opportunity to form characters for the future life, and what a rich blessing we shall receive if we obtain the recompense of the reward. There is no comfort in sin. Men are made miserable because they refuse to obey the commandments of God. The whole world lieth in wickedness, but Christ came to remove the woe that comes as a consequence of sin. He came to our world to show us how to live a pure, holy life. And I have purposed in my heart that he shall not have lived and died in vain for me. I want to say with the apostles, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. I want to leave a bright track heavenward for all that may be attracted in that way of life. And that's quoted from the Signs of the Times, August 4th, 1890. Here's another quote. The people of God, that is the true Israel, those scattered throughout all nations, are on earth as sojourners, whose citizenship is in heaven. And that's from God's Amazing Grace, page 57. Quote, we profess to be pilgrims and strangers on earth, journeying to a far better country, even and heavenly. And if we are indeed but sojourners here, travelling to a land where none but the holy can dwell, we shall make it our first business to become acquainted with that country. We shall make diligent inquiry as to the preparation needed, the manners and character which we must have in order to become citizens there. Jesus, the King of that land, is pure and holy. He has commanded his followers, be ye holy, for I am holy. 1 Peter 1:16. If we are hereafter to associate with Christ and sinless angels, we must here obtain a fitness for such a society. And that's from the book That I May Know Him, page 169. Beloved, I beg of you, as sojourners and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul, having your conduct honourable among the Gentiles, that they may, by your good works, which they observe, glorify God in the day of visitation. And that's quoted from 1 Peter 2, verse 11 and 12 from the New King James Version. Are you also someone who has been in this land for way too long, whose heart has always turned heavenward to my Father's house, and by this you have also become an overstayer? It's been so nice to share this article with you, and we look forward to meeting again. Thank you for these precious moments of your time, and thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing this with friends and family. Are you settled here, or are you an overstayer of a land up there? Till we meet again, please stay safe.